You know, the Michael Myers fanatic has been here a long damn time. And it seems like with each passing year, either the people get dumber or the movies that he has to review get dumber. Stephen King's It. First of all, the Michael Myers fanatic wants to say, Stephen King, you're nothing but a fake ass John Carpenter. Your movies make no sense. They have no clear meaning. They just exist. They make no sense at all. We don't know whether you're coming or you're going. We don't know whether it's black or if it's white. You have a group of jabronis in the town called Derry, which is a town in Maine. Whether or not it's fictional, the Michael Myers fanatic doesn't know. The Michael Myers fanatic doesn't care. But they're in this town called Derry, or as the actor Tim Reid would call it, Derry. Tim, the Michael Myers fanatic, wants to give you some English lessons. It's not called Derry, it's called Derry. Derry. You have a group of jabronis in Derry, Maine, and they're going around calling themselves the Losers Club. The Michael Myers fanatic is going to only mention the important stars in this movie. You have Tim Reid as Michael Hanlon. I think that's his name. John Ritter as Ben something or other. I forgot his last name. Annette O'Toole as Beverly Marsh. Those are the three important people. Then you have Stan, Eddie. See, this is what happens. The Michael Myers fanatic can't even remember all of their names. Because they're not memorable people. The only ones that stood out are John Ritter's character, Annette O'Toole's character, and Tim Reid's character. And the thing that the Michael Myers fanatic hates about this movie the most is that stupid catchphrase they got going where they say, beep beep Richie, beep beep. Beep beep. Beep beep. What in the blue hell does that even mean? This movie is by far one of the dumbest things the Michael Myers fanatic has ever laid his eyes on. It's about some kind of being that has the power to transform itself into almost anything. And like the Michael Myers fanatic said earlier, Stephen King, your movies are unclear. Because we don't know if the thing was shapeless, if it was formless. We don't know if it actually was a spider. Was it a spider? Was it a clown? Did it come from outer space? We don't know. Or did you just do it like you did all the other movie monsters you made and pull this monster straight out of your candy ass? We don't know. The being was some kind of clown called Pennywise, portrayed by Tim Curry. This movie premiered in November of 1990. The movie opens up with some idiot named George or Georgie. He wanted to play with a sailboat, so he went in the room in there and had his candy ass brother make the sailboat for him. He took the sailboat outside and he was killed by Pennywise. Pennywise apparently ripped the guy's arm off. And apparently he is some kind of spider because he had them all down there in a web. The Michael Myers fanatic is going to sum it up for you. He's supposed to be this all-powerful being. He's basically a ripoff of Freddy Krueger. And the best thing that he can come up with is a spider. That's what he was, a spider. A magical spider that had something called deadlights. You know, the Michael Myers fanatic asked his father when he was younger, he said, "Dad, why do people do and say stupid things?" And the fanatic's dad looked back at the fanatic and he said, "Son, as long as you keep living, you'll keep hearing people say and do stupid things. They kill this thing for the time being. They shut it down for the time being. The year is 1960. The town is Derry, Maine. And they say, if you believe hard enough, you can kill this thing." There are 7 of them, and they call themselves the Losers Club. And if you believe hard enough, you can kill this monster. So they kill it in the year 1960. And they vow that if the monster should ever come back, then they'll come back to Derry, Maine. And that's exactly what they do. 30 years later, in 1990. And then they want to say all this stupid shit like, "Oh, it's not an accident that we never had kids. A force brought us together." No force brought you together. Crappy writing brought you together. This was a crappy movie. The script is horrible. You're sitting there fighting a clown that looks like Ronald McDonald's retarded brother. You're fighting a clown that's actually a magical spider, and you have to shoot it in the head. This doesn't look like a horror movie. This looks like some sort of video game. You gotta get the magic bullet and shoot it in the magic spot. And he's running around here talking about beep beep, Richie, beep beep. I don't get it. And Beverly Marsh, played by Annette O'Toole. Stephen King made her into a hoe. She kissed on every one of those boys. Why couldn't she just decide which one she wanted to go out with? Finally, she married Ben, played by John Ritter. The late John Ritter. Shout out to the Ritter family. Stephen King, you fat, ugly piece of crap. Putting all that racist stuff in your movie. Having the black guy being called the N-word. Why did you need that in there? It wasn't even necessary. Not every town was racist, you moron. As a matter of fact, I think Maine is up north. They're mostly racist in the south. It wasn't even necessary. The movie was horrible. Just bad. It was nothing but a cheap knockoff of Nightmare on Elm Street. Basically, Pennywise is just like Freddy Krueger. And how come your movies never have a clear meaning? Why is it that we always have to play guessing games when it comes to your movies? We have to guess everything. If we want to know the motive behind the movie, we have to guess. We want to know the characters' life stories. We gotta guess. Everything's a damn guessing game with your movies. Nothing's ever clear. At least with John Carpenter, his movies were clear. Michael Myers was basically something like the devil that came to this earth in human form. And he came here to kill Laurie Strode. It's that simple. But with your movies, everything has to be a guessing game. The Michael Myers fanatic don't want to guess. He just wants to watch the movie. I'm getting out of here. This movie was a piece of trash. Basically, to make a long story short, the Losers Club reunite 30 years later, but the character of Stan ends up killing himself because he can't bear the fact that it has come back. He kills himself. So they all take their candy asses back to Derry, Maine, 30 years later, because they have to fight the magical spider. And this time, they kill it for good. The Michael Myers fanatic doesn't understand that if he was so powerful, why did he end up being a spider? A magical spider at that. I'm out of here. I can't take any more of this. Beep, beep, Richie. Beep, beep. What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means. And what about this line? You're gonna float down here with us. We all float down here. So not only is it a magical spider, but the spider can talk. A talking magical spider. And nobody knows if it's a space alien. Nobody knows if it's a demon. We don't really know what it is. Because he's left that a complete mystery. We're forced to play a guessing game. I don't want to guess. The Michael Myers fanatic don't want to guess. He's 27 years old. Guessing games are for children. Guess what the Michael Myers fanatic is going to do when this is over? He's going to celebrate. Or better yet, if the Michael Myers fanatic was in the town of Derry, Pennywise would have to guess what kind of vehicle the Michael Myers fanatic is going to run him over with. Or maybe he has to guess how many times the Michael Myers fanatic is going to hit him. Or maybe he can guess how many feet the Michael Myers fanatic is going to stick straight up his candy ass. If you want to know what I think of this movie, guess. Everything's a guessing game with Stephen King. I'm out of here. They ended up killing the magical spider, and everybody lived happily ever after. Except the black guy. He ended up in the hospital, almost dying. You fat racist. You look like a big pile of marshmallows with raisins at the top for eyes. Stephen King, you suck. We all float down here. The only thing that's floating is your career, floating right into obscurity. Asshole.